outrunning me. I was trying to run away and grabbed me by the back of my hair.
443
She was yelling, "I want to kill you," and just began to beat me, punch me, hit me, grabbed the back of my head and began to beat my head against the table.
Last summer, Brandy Shear came close to death, her life nearly stolen by her own daughter.
If she had a weapon, I think this would be a very sad story, because I don't think I would be here. I don't.
2 years ago, Brandy's daughter Carrie was diagnosed with epilepsy, depression, insomnia, and then explosive rage disorder.
This one is called Dear Darkness by Carrie. Dear Darkness, you used to rule my life.
Carrie has been in and out of mental health treatment centers in Oklahoma and Texas. The trouble is, each time, the rage comes back, and worse.
The state of Oklahoma has placed a loaded gun in my hand, and they've said you can pull the trigger at you and your other children by bringing Carrie into the home, or you can pull it at your daughter and place her on the street knowing that bad things will happen to her. But either way, you got to pull the trigger, and I can't do it.
Every time I think about it,
Carrie is developmentally delayed and crippled by her mental illness. They call it dual diagnosis, and there are many, many Oklahomans just like Carrie.
I don't know what got into my head. Maybe it was the devil telling me lies about my parents. Maybe it was.
There are dozens of specialized facilities for Oklahomans like Carrie, but most refuse to take her because of her violence. It is a danger to the other patients. In fact, one Oklahoma City hospital told the family a homeless shelter was the best option for young Carrie.
She can't live out in the world, and she can't live in our home because of the danger that she poses. I don't like to say those words about my daughter, but this is her reality. And so somebody has to meet me right here where I'm at with her reality and give me some options.
We are funded 46th in the nation for mental health, despite having the third highest rate of mental illness. Oklahoma spends about $53 per person. The national average is more than $120.
Thank you for the progress that we're making, and I'm sorry that you have to make up for decades of neglect, but that's the reality that we're in.
Money is at the center of this issue. There is not enough to treat all the Oklahomans who struggle.
Oklahomans' brains are more important than asphalt, and so we've got to decide that we're going to invest in our brains the same way that we've made a multi-year commitment to invest in our infrastructure in terms of bridges and roads.
Commissioner Terry White admits half the people who get treatment in Oklahoma are funneled into the system through the back of a police car. They end up at a crisis center like this one, an expensive and avoidable way to treat mental illness.
Well, what happens when you don't get care for a disease is it gets worse until you become eligible because now you're in crisis. It's a horrible way to handle health care.
We know patients in crisis are much more expensive to treat than those who are in the early stages of mental illness, but most state-funded early intervention programs have been stripped from the budget.
But ultimately, when it comes down to it, until we are willing to invest in the prevention and early intervention, we'll never be able to change the expenses that occur down the road.
According to the National Alliance for Mental Illness, Oklahomans who can't afford it travel out of state for help.
This is why families move out of Oklahoma. This is why we have children in patient facilities and getting services in other states around Oklahoma every single day.
Carrie's family can't afford to leave. They eventually stumbled into some help for her at a residential facility in Del City, a temporary solution.
looking for just tonight.
It has been 2 months since Carrie's last incident of violence. Her family's hopeful she can go 6 months and move into a facility with a program targeted toward young people.
My frustration is that Carrie deserves a good life. She deserves to have dreams and plans. And so I'm not going to quit fighting until I find that. I will not stop fighting for her.
For Carrie's mother, it is a battle for her own life as much as it is for Carrie's.
Hi, Kale. This is Brandy Shear again.
Untreated, mental illness can drive its victims to deadly violence. Fighting for Carrie is a war worth winning. Allie Meyer, News Channel 4.